Hello everyone, Tim here. Today I'm going to be doing a recap of, we went to Philadelphia FanExpo this past weekend. Had an absolute blast. I'm going to be doing the recap with my amazing wife April here because we did the weekend together. So this is the first video she's going to be in. This is going to be a super rare occurrence, but we did this together. So I figured it would be fun to do this video together. Alright, so before we dive into it, you may or may not hear a rambunctious little kitty going on in the background. She's a handful. But anyways, yeah, so for our weekend, we got there pretty much right when they opened on Saturday. We had a massive amount of people planned to get signed autographs pre-purchased over Saturday and Sunday, which we had about 11, right? 11 autographs set?
Yeah, 11 total.
Yeah, so a lot. We had a lot to accomplish. We got there on Saturday, pretty much made a beeline immediately for Michael J. Fox's line. We figured Michael J. Fox is by far the biggest one, so we're going to meet him. It's going to be big. We make it to the line, we make it to the front. It turns out it's just for a ticket to come back at 6 p.m. on Saturday because obviously with his condition, it's all difficult on him. So yeah, everything was kind of jammed into the later part of the day for him. So he was going to be the tail end of our Saturday, so we needed somewhere to start. So we started with Rose McIver and Danielle Panabaker were added to this like
a week ago.
A week ago.
Yeah.
And we were all excited for that. So that was our very first autographs and meetings we did on Saturday. We didn't even look at any of the shopping areas yet at this time. Like I said, we made a beeline to the celebrity autographs, got the Michael J. Fox ticket, and then went over to Rose and Danielle, who were right next to each other. Autograph-wise for Rose, we got this first. If you don't know, she is the lead from the TV show iZombie, but she's also currently in a show called Ghost, which airs on
Paramount Plus.
I have not
watched. CBS, I think. I think it's on the actual cable too, but I don't know. I watch it on Paramount
Okay. Well, I've only seen one episode of Ghost that she happened to be watching, so I'm not familiar on it, but I really dig iZombie. So that was very cool. She was super nice. Her autograph looks good in pink there. And I'm going to throw a picture up on the screen right now of meeting her, like getting the selfie, which I will note for people that don't get these or don't meet anyone, generally most cons you're paying for both the autograph and for the picture with them. It's very occasionally small cons they might throw the both together. Normally they do combo prices at least, like Rose did have like a combo price, but the stuff's not cheap, but we really wanted to get the picture with Rose, so we did it. Then up next, we met Danielle Panabaker, which Danielle, we had a tough time trying to decide what we were going to get signed. Like, quite a bit of hard time. Did you have a preference at all, or?
No, she's been in so many stuff I like all the Disney Channel stuff that she did, and
yeah.
I don't know. It was tough.
It was tough. She was in the Crazies from 2010. She was in Friday the 13th remake. Disney Days, she did Sky High. I really dug Sky High. She was in a Disney Channel original called Read It and Weep. She was in a lot of stuff. Her most recent thing is Flash. Flash TV show was pretty big. That just ended, but she was a big part of that show. But anyways, yes, met her, and we opted on the Friday the 13th only because Derek Mears does cons all the time, and while he's not in the picture, he was Jason in this, so we'll probably bring this picture to get signed by Derek Mears, I think. So that's why we opted with this one, but I'll throw the picture on screen right now from getting the picture with her. She was so nice. Both her and Rose, awesome people. They were top notch to meet, so I would highly recommend meeting them if you're interested in their stuff at all. They were at this con, $60 each, which for this con isn't bad.
That's the lowest price for anybody there. So
yeah, I feel like at a smaller con they might be less, but this con seemed like 60 was the low end. So yeah, I feel like they might be a little less somewhere else. All right, so up next, if I was going to rank everyone by just their
Personality.
personality and attitude and experience, Henry Winkler, which was our next autograph, is top spot. You agree, right?
Oh my god, he was so awesome.
He really was. He was like an 11 out of 10 in just bursting with personality and so much enthusiasm. And the dude is 77, right? You
77, yeah.
77 years old. And this guy was freaking awesome. He wasn't sitting behind the table at all. He stood in front of the table. He would walk around periodically shaking the hands of people on the line, walk through the line and said, "Don't worry, guys. I'm worth it. This will be great. You'll love it." He was so freaking good. And he complimented your dress, too.
Yeah, he said red looks good on you.
Yeah, she had on a red.
It was really nice.
He had on her, or she had her on a red dress, and he complimented her red dress, and I was like, "That's cool." He was so freaking nice. And I'll throw up on the screen right now what we got signed was a one sheet for Heroes, which is a movie of his from 1977 with Sally Field and Harrison Ford. And he thought this was pretty cool. He probably didn't see any Heroes posters coming up to him throughout the day. Waiting in line, we saw a lot of Scream, a lot of Waterboy, and a lot of course, the Fonz, because he's the frickin' Fonz. But he was only, I want to say he was like 70.
I think he was 70.
70? He's well worth it. He's absolutely well worth it. If you are interested at all in the stuff Henry Winkler does, the experience meeting him, he didn't rush you. He takes his time. He'll chat with you. My goodness, he was amazing. So I can't stress enough how awesome Henry Winkler was in person. So as you're noticing right now, very heavy on autographs, and that's a lot of what Saturday was. So we didn't grab a lot of, I grabbed very little footage. Overall, we were kind of like just in the moment, essentially. It was just a really fun time. But Saturday was very heavy on just getting autographs, so there wouldn't be as much to show. But our next one up, we attempted to get Sean Astin. He ended up, like, shortly after us getting in line, had one of his, either a photo op or appearance, or it could have been both together, or a panel, I should say, both near each other, because they had us come back at 2:30. So we couldn't get him. We weren't going to wait there. It was still quite a bit of time. So we decided to go to the guy I went there for, which was
Sam Raimi.
Yes. Sam Raimi is who I bought tickets for this in the first place. I was so ecstatic for this because I had a poster that was already signed by the whole cast of Evil Dead. I needed Raimi. And I got him. So, yeah, we went right over to Raimi. We got our little ticket with him. You couldn't take any photos anywhere around him at all. So I don't think you'll find no pictures of anyone unless they like really zoomed in. You couldn't take pictures of him at all. You had to have a photo op to get pictures with him. But he was so nice. So for Raimi, I had a hard time deciding what I was going to get because I'm such a big fan of him. And my goodness, so I ended up getting the Evil Dead poster. And I got a Spider-Man 2 poster, which I will show you both of those on the screen. They turned out awesome. But how much was I geeking out about the stuff in the line?
Big time geek.
People in the line for Raimi had some incredible stuff. Someone had an Ollie Moss Evil Dead print, which is like a freaking grail print for me. They had that to get signed by him. Oh my goodness, was I jealous. I just wanted to like go over, take that thing and run. So yeah, people had some incredible stuff getting signed. It was basically maybe 50% Spider-Man, 50% Evil Dead, right? Like I noticed like nothing else of any of his stuff. People were not getting Darkman. People weren't getting A Simple Plan. No one was getting Oz the Great and Powerful. No one was getting any of that stuff. Someone was dressed as Doctor Strange in the line, but I still don't even think they got Doctor Strange. I felt like it was all Spider-Man and
most part was
yeah.
Spider-Man and
but
Evil Dead.
If you meet Raimi, though, he will not sign the original posters for Spider-Man 1 that had the Twin Towers. That's just something to know. He refuses to sign those. So if Twin Towers are in the posters, that's a no-go. You need something else. There was people that did have those. They gave them complimentary photos for it. But, I mean, if you go with that plan, you're going to be kind of bummed. So when we got up to Sam Raimi, like I said, I got Spider-Man and Evil Dead signed. Shockingly, I didn't freeze up because I was like really nervous. That was who I was there to meet above all else. I told him how the Evil Dead franchise made me the horror fan I am, which he thought was really cool. But what he thought was even better was with the Spider-Man 2, I told him that was our second date, which it was. It was our second date. We saw, Dodgeball?
And Spider-Man, and then White Chicks.
And White Chicks. Those were our first 3 dates. So he thought that was really cool. He was so freaking nice, guys. So after the wait in Raimi's line, it's pretty soon to the time for Sean Astin. So she headed over for Sean Astin. I headed over to meet Christopher Lloyd, the first one I'm going to actually meet for the Back to the Future cast. And I will say at this time, I actually noticed this earlier, but I had a special print I bought for the Back to the Future cast, and dumbass me forgot it at the house. So I needed to pivot. So I pivoted to an 11x14 photo. That still turned out very nice, which you will see in this video what it looked like signed. But yeah, she went there. I went to Christopher Lloyd. I got Christopher Lloyd first because I met up with her for Sean Astin. Christopher Lloyd was fine. He's 84 years old, so I wasn't expecting a lot of enthusiasm. He kind of just signed and moved on. You can't get your name on it, no personalization of any sort, no quotes, no nothing, just his name. He's particular on the color he uses, where he signs on the photo, all that stuff. It was fun. I was happy to get him. I was still happy to meet him. But, like, at this point in the con, he was the bottom of the people I met in, like, experience, I guess. So, we're after Christopher Lloyd for me. She's already been waiting in the Sean Astin line. By the time I got there, you're pretty far up there. I mean, it's almost time
Probably
for you to...
maybe like 10 to 15 more people.
Yeah, so she's pretty far up. She's almost ready to hit up there. So I wasn't in the line that long. I pretty much just met up, and we chatted for a couple while we wait, and there we were. It was time to meet Sean Astin. There was tons of stuff I would have loved to get him for. Like, I probably would have gotten Goonies for myself, but our friend Jess is a massive, massive Lord of the Rings fan. So we have this amazing Lord of the Rings print, which you're seeing on the screen right now. We got it inscribed. We had him inscribe it to her because it's her print. It meant more for her. So this autograph's not for us, but we still got to meet him. And he was so freaking nice, guys. So nice. So I've never heard anything bad about Sean Astin, but I could personally uphold. He was great, right?
Yeah. He even said to send Jess his love. So
yeah.
It made her day with that.
It really did make her day. Yeah, he was great. Okay, so next up was meeting Bonnie Wright, none other than Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter movies. And this is soon to be about the time where I started to notice, man, this con is pretty disorganized, kind of a mess. We already saw slightly that, some of the lines, it's hard to tell where they start, who's where in line. No one is really telling you anything of what's going on worker-wise. It's a little disorganized, but while she's waiting for Bonnie Wright, I decide, we need drinks. We haven't drinking a damn thing yet. We haven't eaten anything. So I'm going to head over and go to the food area. Oh my God. Well, how long was I getting food for?
I don't know. It was like 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. Just waiting in line for freaking one pretzel, a muffin, and 2 Pepsis. And I waited like 45 minutes. I waited a good chunk of the time of her getting Bonnie Wright just to get frickin' Pepsis. That was a disaster. They needed to figure something out. The lines are all weaving through tables that people are sitting at. It was not set up well at all. Freaking disaster. And they don't give you a whole lot of places to go get drinks. So like, oh, I'm freaking dying of thirst. Wait 45 fucking minutes to get a drink. It utterly ridiculous. But I made it to her, and
we were still waiting because Bonnie Wright's schedule got all messed up, and they delayed her and stuff. She was supposed to be back an hour before, and but we eventually got through.
Yeah, like I said, this is a point where we're like, oh, this is a little disorganized here. But we finally did make it up to Bonnie Wright. We got a Chamber of Secrets print. It was Chamber of Secrets, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Chamber of Secrets print signed, which you're seeing on the screen. Beautiful print. Wonderful person. She was great. So, high marks on her, low marks on the con organization at this point. Okay, so it's getting a little bit later in the day now, and we want to... It's Michael J. Fox we're there to get next. So we ended up going towards his line, which was already looking like a clusterfuck. It was
disaster.
They tell us, your ticket's for 6, you have to come back way closer to 6 o'clock. We're not even near that right now. So we're like, fine. We end up walking over, and we get, in pretty rapid succession, there's Peter Cullen sitting there, which he wasn't even a planned person. I brought a print for him, a RoboCop print. Quick little note, for all the times I say Peter Cullen, I mean Peter Weller, because Peter Cullen was also at this con, and my mind was scrambled eggs right there. So yes, Peter Cullen means Peter Weller. But he was a maybe. And we wait in his like 2-person line, get to him. If I was ranking people, he would be at the bottom overall. He was kind of a crotchety old man.
Yeah, he definitely was.
He had a nice signature at least. He was happy to see RoboCop for me. He signed a Star Trek Into Darkness, right? Was it Into Darkness?
I think it was Insurrection.
Insurrection? I don't know. Whichever Star Trek he was in, I can't even think.
I don't know.
He didn't even remember he was in it. He didn't like it. No, it wasn't Insurrection, though, because it was Carl Urban was signed on it, so it was one of the newer ones. I feel it was Into Darkness. Huck would know offhand. I can't think if he was in that. Whatever.
Yeah, I think it was Into Darkness. It was something with an I, so.
Yeah, okay. I think it was Into Darkness. Huck, you could correct down below. But anyways, yeah, he was kind of a crotchety old man. So, whatever on him. Beautiful signature, at least. I think
he used like a yellow paint pen or something.
Yeah, I think
it was really cool.
Signature turned out great. Meeting him, whatever. Then we go over to Tom Welling. Literally, as he's packing up, we are the final people Tom Welling will meet on Saturday before he's heading to his hotel or whatever. This is funny because we walk up to him. He's like, "What do you got for me?" We unroll a Fog poster from the Fog remake, and he's like, "Oh no,
the Fog!"
He's like, "I hate the Fog.
It makes no sense."
It was so funny. So we were telling him, like, we were looking for a one sheet of movie where you were the lead, and like the Fog poster looks kind of cool. And he's like, "I don't like this movie at all." But he was super nice about it. He was great. And I mean, he was great enough that we get him the next day, which you'll see. But yeah, wonderful with him at least. He was high marks on Tom Welling. Definitely worth meeting. Next up is pretty much just killing time. We went and walked the exhibitor floor to see all of the just different vendors that were there. It was still kind of crowded at this time, even though we're like winding towards the end of the con. They closed at 7. We were probably doing this at like 4:30 to 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. We made it pretty quickly through. There was cool stuff, but not really much that like I couldn't just order online. Like I can order a signature online, but like I'm not gonna get the personally meet them and stuff. So like that was more so what I cared about. Where like I said, I saw cool NECA figures and stuff like that, but it's like I could get that stuff at home, so I wasn't really concerned with buying any of that stuff at the con. It was cool to look through, but we weren't there for that.
No.
And now it's time for the horror story. This is the worst moment of the entire con. Absolutely. We make it to the Michael J. Fox area because we have nothing else to do now. Our ticket is for 6. We're there.
I'd say probably about 5.
Probably about 5 o'clock. We're there waiting. We're not allowed to go up close. The people in the up further are the people with the 5 and the 5:30 tickets and stuff. And we're the 6 o'clock people, and there's 6:15 people. So we're all kind of like hanging way back. And at this point, most of the people have stopped signing, and most of them stopped, I think, at like 5, right? Most
of them, yeah, they were mostly cleared out at that point.
Yeah, so we're hanging back, and the line kind of starts coming to us, not us moving forward, and it all becomes just this
blob of people.
Blob of people with no sense of any organization. No one that works there has any fucking idea what's going on. There is no clue. People of different time slots are all waiting next to each other. This one guy without a freaking microphone is trying to tell people instructions. He's telling them, and people are bum rushing him before he can even finish what he's saying. It was... What was that?
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, it was absolute chaos. Anyways, we finally get to a point where, like, this dude calls out, everyone with a 6:15, you can start lining up here. And keep in mind, we're a 6 o'clock ticket. This dude never not once utters 6 o'clock. He's like completely skipping time slots. We're pretty sure there's people at 5:45s even. He's just completely skipping time slots. He has no idea what's going on. No one at this freaking con has any idea what is going on. So, I mean, I had a very, very, very expensive ticket to meet him. And we also had to be at my aunt and uncle's where we were staying for after this. So, like, I didn't want to be there freaking all night. We make it into, like, I guess Q1. Like, most of the lines for people would do, like, a serpentine wrap, up and down, up and down. This one was set up to just be all of 1 goes, all of 2 goes, all of 3 goes. We finally make it. We're starting to go in. We're making it up front. And this one dude, I don't know why us. He calls, like, me out. He's like, what are you doing? You can't go up there. This is supposed to wrap around. You're cutting the line. What are you talking about? Like, we're all supposed to be going up. And I don't know why he singled, like, both of us out. I was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, you're a 6:15 ticket, right? No, dude, I'm a 6 o'clock ticket. Oh, well, that's okay then. Then shut your fucking mouth. What the fuck are you doing? Like, none of us have any idea what is going on. I'm following the directions the best I freaking can. And also, get fucked, dude. Like, unreal. That guy was a douche. But anyways, we finally make it up to meet Michael J. Fox. And by meet, keep in mind, he has Parkinson's. I wasn't expecting anything different, to be honest.
It was definitely exactly what I expected.
Exactly what I expected. It was a conveyor belt. You put it down, your autograph, and they move it down to him. Whatever marker he has in his hand, whatever color that is, and where he signs is what you're getting. You're not really getting to dictate. From what I understand, you could have, I guess, made slight changes, but it had to be quick so that they can make the change for him, because he was going one after another.
You have to keep the motion going.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox had to keep the motion going. There was no stopping. So you had to be on your toes. So where I got the signature, like I said, here's what it looks like, completely signed. We meet Tom Wilson the next day, but you're seeing what it looks like completely signed. But anyways, I'm happy I met him. His signature still turned out good. I think the whole thing turned out great. I'm happy I met him. The con massively had no idea what they were doing. Absolutely none. They couldn't handle someone of his caliber properly in telling fans what to do and where to go. Absolutely dreadful nightmare trying to meet him. But meeting him, I was very happy. Once I got in there, like I said, that was what I was expecting. Yeah. I mean, you can't expect a guy with Parkinson's, who I'm shocked he's even doing these, to do much better than that. All right, so sorry, we're now in day 2. We made it to day 2. Sorry, this has been kind of a long one, but I wanted to fully recap the day for you guys and for, I guess, for our future selves' sake if we ever wanted to relive it in our minds. But first things first is we got in there. It was a beeline towards meeting Sam Raimi again. This was for a photo op. A freaking photo op with Sam Raimi. We had no idea where we were going. Like, none. We read the map thing, and I guess we weren't understanding it correctly. We went upstairs looking for the area. It was downstairs. Whatever. We finally make it to him through the sea of people for Joseph Quinn, which if I ever see another Hellfire Club shirt, it is too early. My goodness. Half the people meeting Joseph Quinn had a freaking Hellfire Club shirt. Oh my goodness. There was no... It's like if I'm meeting Joseph Quinn, I have to have that shirt. But we eventually made it in line for Sam Raimi, and we met him. He was... Again, but he was amazing. So put the picture up on screen, which I'm probably using this picture as the thumbnail, to be honest. So you might have saw it in the thumbnail. You might have saw it on my Instagram. But, yeah, he was awesome again. So we got him. We make it upstairs again to the celebrity autograph area. And we decide to max money because everyone's cash.
Yeah, basically everybody's cash.
Almost.
I'm pretty sure only Tom Welling and one other person had a little card reader at their stand. So
almost everyone seemed like they were cash. So we got out money again, and April really wanted to go meet Rose. Again, I wasn't with her for that.
I wanted to meet her for Ghost because I love that show. And we got to chatting about who's my favorite characters, and the two I picked out, she said those are really sweet guys, and she loves working with them.
Yeah.
She also gave me a belated birthday wish, so...
Yeah, because her birthday was on the Saturday. So, April got this Ghost picture signed. So, yeah, meeting Rose again. That's awesome. So, after Rose... It was that was Tom Welling then, right?
Yeah, Tom Welling.
Meeting Tom Welling,
yeah.
Welling again. And
Well, in between, we were checked out Shamik's line, and it was still really
bad.
Oh,
Shamik's line was crazy. We were going to meet Shamik more. His line was bonkers. I had a ticket for him, too. But we weren't getting to Shamik more reasonably with what we had scheduled to do. So, we get Tom Welling, and actually... The Tom Welling you actually got Rose while I was in Tom Welling's line in the first place.
Well, yeah, because we were in Tom Welling's line, and then he had to go do a photo op or a panel or something, but they told us he'd be back in 30 minutes, so you just stayed in line, and I went to get Rose.
Yeah, so that's why I wasn't with her for Rose, because I was just chilling, waiting for Tom Welling to come back. So, he finally does come back. I feel like we just kept meeting the guy when he was on his way out.
It was true, though.
Yeah, because... When he came back, he was literally only going to sign for 20 more minutes, and then he was
catching a
flight out of there.
Yeah.
But we had to get something Superman-wise, get a Clark Kent. So met him again. He was wonderful. Yeah, he was great.
Also got our photo with him.
Yeah, which I might have popped the photo at this point in editing. I might have popped it up earlier, but if I did, I'm going to pop it up again because we actually got the photo on the Sunday. Not on Saturday. You get to see the photo twice. But so now we have that Shamik Moore ticket. We're kind of in a crunch that we want to go to the Back to the Future panel. We have tickets to make sure we get good seats for the Back to the Future panel. And time is not on our side at this point. Shamik Moore's line is very large. The panel, we need to go get ourselves probably in line pretty soon. We wanted to get over to the panel line around 2, right?
That's when they were lining the silver tickets, which we had a silver ticket.
So. Yeah, so we wanted to get over to that by 2, and time was not on our side. Shamik Moore had a photo op, he had a panel and stuff, just things were not working out. So we ended up looking that we were actually able to swap his autograph for another. So I got a Sam Raimi again. We paid an extra $11 to meet Sam Raimi again. His line was almost nothing. We happened to arrive to him again when he just so happened to be taking a break. Only a half-hour break. I was like, oh, whatever. I'll wait. I'm literally the second person in line for it. So I waited, and the photo op from that morning, we got it signed. So very happy with that. Again, Sam was amazing. So we've met Sam multiple times at this point. He was amazing every single time. But after Sam...
when did we get Tom Wilson? Did we get him?
Oh, we didn't even mention Tom Wilson. Jesus.
Him.
Yeah, well, we met... we skipped somewhere. We did meet Tom Wilson also, which he was fantastic. He might have been the first person.
He probably was.
Yeah.
I feel like he might have been the first person after the photo op.
I think he might have been. So, yeah, Tom Wilson, I brought up Freaks and Geeks when I met him. He loved that. He took out his recorder and wanted us to record us talking highly on Freaks and Geeks. He said no one else brought up Freaks and Geeks to him at all convention. It was all about Back to the Future, so he thought that was really cool. He was great. He was absolutely fantastic. He was super nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's really just we're ready to go to the panel,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's what we did.
We start walking back, and I noticed it on Saturday, but there was a replica Jurassic Park Jeep. These people had it all like decked out to look. It was a photo op thing. So we paid the money, $20 for the for the two of us to sit inside the Jurassic Park Jeep and
do a bunch of different poses.
Yeah, which I thought was a ton of fun.
It was really fun.
I had a blast. The pictures came out pretty fun. You'll be seeing them on the screen. I dug it. So yeah, that was fun. So that was our last
thing we did besides
the panel. Yeah. Really, yeah. So now it's heading to the Back to the Future panel, and then that ends the con. If you've hung in there with us so far, thank you. Like I said, I know this was a long recap, but a lot of stuff happened. We're now at the end of the day. We went to the Back to the Future panel. And experience here, waiting in line was fine. They were very disorganized again at first, but then they kind of seemed to understand what they were doing. They got people with gold tickets lined up, then silver, which was us. And then the general admission people, which were, after all the gold and the silver go in, the general admission get their shot at seats. But we essentially paid to get solid seats. We were towards the middle, only fourth row in. It went pretty far back. So we were happy. I spent enough on that. But yeah. When we're talking the Back to the Future cast here. So we're waiting around. Finally, the thing starts. We're happy with our seats. I will show you the intro. I recorded the intro of them coming out. I will show that for you right now.
Make some noise for Tom Wilson! Philly's own, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Oh, son, good to see you. No, get that look. Mr. Michael J. Fox. Get on your feet, Philly. Yeah! Welcome, gents. Welcome.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate with Michael J. Fox falling, but and that even made the news, but he got right back up. So he's amazing. Yeah, it was a solid panel overall. So the problem was Michael J. Fox, he can't hold the microphone and do it because of the Parkinson. So they set up a mic for him, but like it wasn't close enough. And you said you think he hit it when he...
I think the initial microphone they had set up was directly in front of him, but when he fell, he knocked that over and they couldn't get it back up in time.
Yeah, so a lot of what Michael J. Fox said, it wasn't...
It was hard to hear.
It was hard.
It was really low.
Yeah, it was really low. So, like, you're hearing some of what he's saying, and some of it's like, what was that? So that, I mean, he's the star of the thing, and it was hard to hear some of it, but he had tons of enthusiasm. He was great. Like, that is nothing on him. That's on... I guess they couldn't figure out a backup plan quick enough. That sucks. Christopher Lloyd, part being old and not hearing, I guess, and part maybe being disinterested. I don't know. He didn't really offer a whole lot to the panel, I don't feel like. Some of the questions he kind of didn't seem to want to play along with much. Again, the star of this, to watch this, was Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson was really...
was so fun.
Yeah, he was keeping this thing together. He was a blast. He was super fun.
He got a little emotional. And
he was great.
He was good.
So, I mean, I would have loved Michael J. Fox to be, like, the star of it, but that was all a technical problem of, like, you couldn't hear enough of what he was saying. I mean, I was fourth row. I can't fathom the people in the very back if they heard anything Michael J. Fox said. From the fourth row, with speakers pretty close to us, we couldn't hear everything he was saying. So, that was unfortunate, but overall the panel was solid. I don't think the moderator was great. I don't think he was...
too great.
Great?
No.
Some of the questions were meh. But I still had fun seeing the original cast together. That was so cool.
But I can't really even fault the moderator, though, because he did say they were fan-submitted questions. So, it's just reading what fans submitted, so...
Yeah, so
it's really not his fault either, but...
Yeah. So, the panel overall was okay. Still happy I saw it, but that ends the whole thing. That's it. After that, we walked to the car.
And drove 2 hours home.
Yeah. So, if you watched this whole thing, I thank you so much, because right now I'm thinking this is a 20-some, 30-minute video, I feel like. I don't know what it actually will be, because future Tim didn't edit this yet. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to April for joining.
It'll probably be the one and only time this year.
One and only time this year, jeez. But yes, if you want more of her, tell her in the comments. Say in the comments we want more April. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, I very much so appreciate it. And have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.